BluntCut MetalWorks, April 29, 2021. This is the overview of the toughness testing by cutting the nail, 16D nail 5 time, and we'll zoom in at the medians. In other words, discard the 2 best one and 2 worst one, and look at think of the average. Anyway, so this is before I would do the optional step, or I call sequences of the heat treat. So there maybe it will be possibly another follow-up video. And the steel, I will zoom in now and we scan at the 3V, and you hit the ruler tick, and you can see that there are 5 baton-cut. That means I hit it with a wooden hammer against the spine and cut the nail against the aluminum backing. And it's not as clear, but you can see right there is a little bit of deformation. I use the word deformation because, rather than fracture. So none of these things got fractured, they all deformed. And this is the 1085 right here, of the heat treat. You can see variety of some of these things. Got deformed more than the other, depend on the angle and also the back and how it bounces. So there's going to be variation. And so, and another version of 1085, and it's have a different deformation here. And then this is the Elmax, and you can see that compared to 95, Elmax have, this 1085 here is really stable right here and really strong, and Elmax have a lot more deformation here. And again, this is a Magnacut, CPM Magnacut, and you have compared to, it look better than Elmax, and they have some of the. Well, the important thing about when I do these tests is I can see what the damage mode is. Because the test cut not going to be perfect, so that variation also sharpening as well. So you can see right there, compare all these things. And this is a Magnacut at 61.5 Rockwell here. This is a control, meaning that I'm using the heat treat, manufacturer heat treat recommendation. And you can see between the two, my heat, BluntCut MetalWorks heat treat versus control. And right there, the two. I can only capture the small window, so that's why it's not. I have to pan it around, so not clear. And Niolox have quite a bit of deform here, deform a lot more, meaning that it roll or crush. And for 62 Rockwell, this is behave a lot lower strength, use strength than 62. So that prompted me to, for this particular one, it prompted me to do the final optional sequences, history sequences, so that to increase the use strength. If we increase the use strength, that to be seen. And this is S30V. The first cut next to the heel was substantially damaged. Pretty much they got the radius of the nail here. Something is not going well. And the second cut was when it got pried, so they got ignore that one. So I end up with the other 4. And the final one near the tip, this is a very small blade and very quite thin. And so look like this, they're going to develop just like the first cut. going to be a fracture, a chip right there. But for the one that able to pass the test, you can see that that is fairly intact. I mean, everything is fairly intact. Oh, that little intermediate ripple here, from collide. I mean, from impact, the aluminum backing. That's all. So the zoom in toward the end of the video. I mean, that way I'm going to zoom in the median. Where I mean average on this case basically, and you can see a closer look at the thing. Like for the S30V, I would pick this one, for example, and for Niolox, I think I pick probably this one or something like that. And finally, the Magnacut 4E, and it at 64 Rockwell, and the deformation is actually, some of these things is fairly high. I mean, fairly larger than I expected. I expect a little bit smaller, but however, there's no chip here. You can see the deform. So also beside Niolox and the Magnacut 4E here, I think I would do optional heat treat sequence, and it might change the hardness a little bit. But I think what I'm going to do is change the use strength. All right, here the video, and the video got cut out at 30 minutes because the camera limit, I guess. And after that will be the close-up look at each of the steel, and the median cut that they will. And also, I mean, it will be also side to side, similar to this. I'm going to test cutting 16D nail here, this box, and to compare different steel with hardness similar to each other. And the but one to note though is the setup and also the cutting. There are going to be variability, so the differences you see, I mean, the error margin, let's say the deviation is about 20%. So unless the difference is more than that, I mean, so it cannot be really to say one thing is way better or not. But anyway, it's a blade is sharpened at the same 18 degree precise, using edgepro, and at 600 grit diamond plate, using diamond, and with Magnacut. And then we'll use and compare the median, or the one in the middle. I mean, in other words, not the best, not the worst, the middle, and compare among them. So the steel going to be tested on this video would be the Elmax 61 Rockwell, CPM 3V at 62 Rockwell, Magnacut 4E at 64. That's the only exception there, because I did not want to ruin the. I mean, I want to keep that the Magnacut 4E at 64 if I'm going to finish the knife. And Niolox at 62 Rockwell, S30V at 62 Rockwell, Magnacut at 62 Rockwell, Magnacut the control, at 61.5 Rockwell. Control meaning that I use a standard heat treat, recommended the manufacturer, instead of BluntCut MetalWorks special heat treat. And for other comparison, I use the 1095 at 61 Rockwell. Actually going to be two of the blade with the 1095 and two different versions. Anyway, so I'm going to start. This thing is going to be. This is just the blade that you're going to use for starting the cut. Right? So it's the blade you're going to see one cut, and I got a magnet there. So anyway, and so I got tried to. So here you can see the setup, and I got wooden hammer here, and we try to make 3 strike like that to cut. So this is the one I've been cut so many cut that the aluminum block below got a little bit all cut up, but that's all right. They're going to face each of these things going to see. And I don't want it to fly everywhere. I mean the pieces. So, and I have the dot there, so it's going to be 3 dots. So. Three. So that's number 1 for the Elmax. I mean, there is also the angle to entry and all like that. But again, they're all going to have fair enough because but I'm going to go to each of them. This is the 62 Rockwell 3V. And as you can see, I mean, you can pass forward it to the end and where I'm going to compare. So. The close-up look of its steel of the median cut, and 3V. Oh, here's, again, side to side, but I'm going to zoom in so you can take a closer look. Also, I'm going to provide the link to the direct picture for this one and also for the overview. And here is the 3V. And there's some metal, the nail stuck on the edge here. and here the 1085 at this one, and another 1085 here at this one. And this one have a little bit of sideways reflection. That's why you have off color here, but that's minor. And the Elmax look pretty good right there. On top of, they have 1 millimeter tick mark, you can see. This is a lot more zoom in. And the Magnacut, the 62 Rockwell. And here there's some of the deformation, small one. And the control have some nail metal stick to it. And the Niolox, surprisingly, it behaved very ductile. So, and that needs to be rechecked. And because I did test the flat part of the blade, the thick part near the tang, and also on the blade there at 62. But however, this doesn't behave like a 62. And however, the 62 of the S30V, I mean the one that passed without nasty failure there, is also so good size of quite a bit of deformation. And so as the 64 Rockwell, and I do wonder if the ductility come from the process that I need to complete, or that is just going to be the differential between the thick part and also the edge, and so could be the heat treat process. Anyway, I mean there probably going to be a follow-up video of additional 5 cut of the 16D nail, and we'll pick the median again. And thanks for watching.